Last week, we spoke to George Kittle about his tight end university, which is beginning today in Nashville, Tennessee. The 8th annual Offensive Line Masterminds Summit is July 10th through 11th at the Cosm in Dallas. Over 200 NFL and NCAA offensive linemen planning to be there. Tristan Wirfs, Deion Dawkins, Andrew Thomas, current and Hall of Famers Kevin Mawai, Tony Baselli, Steve Hutchinson, and Will Shields, all part of that summit that has been put together by one of the best in the National Football League, 5-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, and now 2-time Super Bowl champion, Lane Johnson, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Lane. How are you, sir?
Doing well. I am training and getting ready for training camp July 22nd, so we're starting up pretty quick.
How does that training working, Lane? Give me an idea of what a Lane Johnson late June prior to training camp workout day looks like. What do you got?
Yeah, so early in the week, we'll do like a really heavy upper and lower body day. Okay. And then later in the week, it's a lighter lower and upper body day. And then we have a little bit of sleds to start. And then we have a squat workout and then do a little bit of field work after. So that's what we have in store for today.
Okay. And before we get to the Mastermind Summit, let's talk about this Philadelphia Eagles season that still resonates right now. Have you turned the page from it yet, Lane? Or not really?
Yes, I have. We had a great, time in OTAs, and I felt like we had a good time to reflect and then, realize what's ahead of us and get ready for the season, but really to try to get our mentality right and realize that it's going to be, a hard road ahead.
So the experience of defending a title beforehand, how does that frame your reference for the 2025 season, Lane?
Yeah, I mean, we got to experience a really rough start to 18 and ended up getting to the playoffs. But I think what we realize is that we will get every team's best week in and week out. They can't wait to play the Super Bowl champions from the year before to make a statement. So, that's what I realized in 2018. And I don't want to make the same mistakes as I did then. So hopefully learn from them.
So what mistakes were made there that you think you could download to your teammates, current teammates who weren't around back then, Lane?
Yeah, I think I would say to not get complacent. I think complacency and being satisfied can really distract you mentally, and then it can really hurt your performance. And so you're playing to not lose rather than being focused and taking it one play at a time.
What do you mean you were playing not to lose in that season, you think?
No, I mean, we had a rough start, and we didn't start the season how we wanted to, and it was a surge to get into the playoffs, and it made it a lot more difficult than what it had to be.
I've got Lane Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show, and the concern amongst Eagles fans, if there is or are any, Lane, is the last time you came off of a Super Bowl and then had to switch offensive coordinators that wasn't as successful as you'd have liked. And now here we go again, this one, however, off of a win in Kellen Moore. What do you have to say to folks about Kevin Patullo that might calm some of the nerves of Eagles fans right now, Lane?
Yeah, well, he has a great football mind. And, as far as the game plans for the past 4 years, whatever offense coordinator we had, Kevin was the right-hand man. So, he's a big part of the installation, both run and pass game. So, he's had his input there, and I think he's also a great communicator and really great with the guys in the locker room and has built relationships with us, the past 4 years. So it's, we're really excited about having him fill the void and eager to get started.
And how do you feel Jalen Hurts will be different now having that Super Bowl W and Super Bowl MVP and backing up the money that he got from the team with a new contract to be able to do all of that last year? How do you think it will manifest in more positive vibes, Lane?
Yeah, well, I think he does a good job of reaching out to highly successful people, such as Michael Jordan, Peyton Manning, and try to gain some perspective on what it takes to be a champion, but to repeat and what it takes and everything that's involved with it. So I think he's really matured, ever since I've had my time with him in the league. And he's just, he's very poised. And it seems, no matter what the situation is, good or bad in Philly, he's found a way to rise above it and succeed.
No, I know he's a Jordan brand athlete, and that might give him the clear path to a basket with MJ. But he did in fact reach out to Michael Jordan and ask him about following up on the ultimate success, Lane.
Yeah, just to gain some perspective and some insight. Some of the things that he felt, and I guess how to go about your business. And I guess that's really it.
Obviously, when we get him on, I'll ask him point blank. But is there anything you can share that he told you about? Jordan told me this, or anything like that, or that's just not that's not his style, even to talk about it like that.
Yeah, not his style. But I mean, I think he does a good job of just seeking wisdom. He seeks highly successful people, and he likes to have one-on-one conversations with them. So that's really it. But he does keep a lot to himself. But as far as trying to become a better football player and everything that involves with it, man, he does a good job of constantly seeking to improve himself.
Okay. I asked this question. Maybe my tongue is somewhat firmly planted in cheek, but let's just go for it, Lane. How much of a diva has Jason Kelce become, Lane? How much of a diva is he right now?
A diva? I don't know about a diva. He's been busy. Yeah. He's had a wild ride since football's been over, and I don't, I think he's I know he's enjoying it, but I know that he is a busy man, and I'm thankful for my time that I get to spend with him, which isn't a whole lot, but I think we're all proud of him. I think nice. He's a very busy man.
He sure is. I mean, I just saw him the other day on another commercial, and I'm just like, I feel like he's around more than when he was playing in my life.
The iron's hot. The iron's hot, Rich. You gotta,
the iron.
It's not gonna be hot forever.
The iron's hot. Is indeed hot. So let's talk about offensive line play. I don't know if you're aware, but Jeff Stoutland and I have something in common, Lane.
Y'all go to Southern Connecticut?
No, we are both handsome men from Staten Island, New York.
Staten Island.
We're both Staten Islanders, man. Give me an example of why he's so good, your offensive line coach, Lane.
He's a great teacher. I feel like rather than putting people in a classroom, I think he realizes that some people learn differently. And so we do a lot of things off the cuff, a lot of walkthroughs. And when we're in the meetings, it's more, like we're back in high school. A lot of pop quiz questions. He does a good job of asking questions, and then he'll ask the person's name after, so everybody has to listen. And that's really how he conducts every meeting. And if you're not starting, he still treats everybody as if they're playing. So if somebody happens to not be in the lineup, that somebody else can step up. He's very entertaining. He's very funny. He says a lot of great one-liners. So I think Hard Knocks will be with us during the season. So I hopefully the world will get to see a little taste of what I've got to experience the past 12 years.
I like it. I like it a lot. So I guess what is his secret sauce then? Why so many players that come in that are, I guess, clay that he molds into Pro Bowlers, man? Like how is this continuous, Lane?
He's very passionate. His energy. Way I describe, he's like the Steve Irwin of O-line coaches. Nice. He has that energy. He has the charisma. He draws. He kind of has a magnetism about him. But I think what most people realize is that he cares about the person on a deeper level, and he feels that if they don't make the team, that he somehow failed them. And so when you have somebody that cares that much, I feel like he gets the best out of his guys.
Is he part of your summit in any way, shape, or form? Is he part of it?
He's not. He might be on the golf course. He's.
I got you.
That's where he's at.
Yeah, this is like the last week before everybody's got to report and get ready, right? So that's it?
Yes. It's like we're reporting earlier and earlier every year. But, I feel like the timing's good just to get us in that state of mind and really getting all these Hall of Fame guys in to gain perspective. And hopefully a lot of these college athletes can learn a lot and stuff that I didn't have the opportunity to learn whenever I was coming out. So it's great. We have a good time in there, and we're all doing the same thing. So it's like the timing's right, and it's really just continuing to grow.
And I guess, does Deion Dawkins get a bigger room than most, or a better room than most, because he helped shepherd in the first ever Protectors Award in the history of the National Football League? Like, this was part of his mantra. Maybe like I don't know, something extra in his room, Lane, for the summer here.
Well, yeah, I think, as my time comes to an end, it's going to be time to pass the torch and to put the ball in their court. So guys like Dion and Tristan, guys like that'll be there. They're the face of the league, and they're they're going to be dominating for years to come. So it's awesome. But yeah, I am thankful for Dion for stepping up and getting things done. It took a long time, but here we are.
Because again, I wish I had a dime for every time we've heard the cliche of, well, you don't want to hear your name called if you're an offensive lineman, during a football broadcast, but the NFL honors, now that's a different story, because this should be the award for the guys you hear about the least, right, during a game. Lane.
Yes. Yeah. So if you don't hear our names all season, you'll probably be getting the trophy. So, and only time we get our names called is obviously holding or false start. So, which I've been on wrong sides of both.
Well, I listen, man. I'm sure you're busy, not just, as I said, working out, but putting together this summit. I mean, this has got to be a lot of work on your part and everybody on Team Lane Johnson, I imagine, for this thing. Right?
Yeah, it's a lot getting all the film broken down, and we have a certain time frame, so making it all to where you're seeing a lot of different things and you're hearing from a lot of different people. So getting the structure of that is very important. So I feel like we've gotten better with that as the years have gone on.
Well, that's great, man. I'm happy for you. But two more before I let you go, Lane Johnson. Can you walk me through your perspective where you were when Saquon had that leaping backwards over Jacksonville Jaguar would-be tacklers on that play, Lane?
Yes, I was at I might have been like the 20 or 30-yard line. I didn't see it initially. I heard the crowd. I heard the crowd noise, so I knew something happened. Then I saw it on the scoreboard, and I was like, "That's the first time I've seen that." So, and it happened so fast, and I was taken back as well. It was truly a unique play, something that I'll never forget. But I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't get to see it live. I had to see it on a rerun.
Well, you're too busy doing your job, Lane. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? My head was down. It wasn't up the field looking for the ball.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you weren't following the play, you weren't trailing the play. You were probably on the opposite side of the field if my memory serves.
Yes.
So, right. And knowing your position. But so you saw this moment for the first time on the screen heading back to the huddle? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, or after the play. But yes, walking back to the huddle, I saw the replay on it. And did he just really do that? He did. We've seen jumps, we've seen hurdles, but to do it, obviously backwards is, crazy. One of a kind.
Was he back in the huddle after this play as well? Did he come back?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know if Kenny came in or Will Shipley.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was a conversation in the huddle before the next play is called. Like, dude, really? Like one of those moments,
unless there's a timeout, we get a lot of time to communicate. But whenever we're back on the ball, that was crazy. Okay, the clock's ticking.
Yeah, clock's ticking. Yeah, that's right.
Talk about on the sidelines. Yeah, when we get back to the bench.
All right, and last one for you, Lane. I guess those who are trying to eliminate the Tush Push failed, huh? This past time around. What was your perspective watching this conversation nationally, and then for a day where Kelce showed up on behalf of on behalf of the Eagles to try and tell everybody, listen, we're good here. What was your perspective on that, Lane?
Yeah, it's wild for QB sneak, something that's been around for a long time. And this, it's not gonna. If it was eliminated, it wasn't gonna hurt just us. There's other teams like the Bills are really good at it, and teams that will eventually get good at it. But it lives to fight on at least another year. So, but it was very close, and it was something that I thought may have been taken away, and still might here very shortly. But as somebody that's involved in the play, I never thought that this would grow to what it has become. And it's just it's a lot of bodies there, Rich. I don't know if you can tell, but it's it turns into a mess towards the end of the whistle. So. But, that's what it takes.
Well, I guess, and that's what some of those who wanted out on behalf of player safety are pointing out. And I know you're not right there in the middle. You're on the edge of this play. So what would you say to somebody who thinks that this play needs to be removed for player safety issue, even though a lot of folks thought that was a fig leaf for we can't stop it, Lane? What do you think?
Yeah, I think probably the most important voices would be the center and the two guards and the D tackles that are right there in the middle, because they're usually at the bottom of the pile every time. So, if there's a voice to be heard, I would say it was theirs, as they're probably having the most impact. But yeah, it lives on. I credit the size that we've had in the middle the past 2 years to creating the success. Milato's really good at it. I'm okay at it, but it's really, we got a lot of heavy slotters, Rich. Quarterback slot. Saquon slots a lot. A.J. Dillon slots a lot. We got a lot of guys that can slot a lot of weight. So
that's right. A.J. Dillon's going to take a cheek this year, huh? I mean, that ain't easy. That's not easy to do.
He's a big dude. He's a big man.
That's right. Is there a Tush Push breakout seminar at the O-Line Mastermind Summit? Is there a breakout session on that play alone? No, not really.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a Zoom session with a coach with Stout. He'll be on the golf course with his son Jake. But yeah, hopefully he can give us. We've had a lot of input. Richie Gray, I think he's a ex-rugby guy, so he was kind of he's done a lot of analysis for the Tush Push. So, he says mass kicks. You can fill in the blank. So.
Yeah, and so Stoutland will zoom in from his from the golf course, and Kelce
wherever he's at.
Kelce will zoom in from the craft services table of whatever commercial he's shooting. He'll take a break and zoom in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Enjoy a beer with us. Garage beer with us.
olmasterminds.com for people who want to check it out at Cosm Dallas, July 10th through 11th, and for more information. Lane, thanks for the time, man. Great to always catch up with you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the conversation, and talk to you soon.
Always. That's Lane Johnson, everybody, right here. 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and mastermind of the offensive line right here on the Rich Eisen.
And future Hall of Famer.
There's no doubt. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.